All right, we are now joined by Jimmy Schuldt of the San Jose Barracuda. Jimmy, what's going on, man? How are you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
Doing very well, man. Just getting excited for this weekend set of games against Colorado. I guess just looking big picture, the team was on a 5 game winning streak. You guys didn't get the results you were looking for on the road in Iowa. For you, is it, with your veteran leadership, is it a matter of just telling the guys like, hey, forget about those games and move forward? Or are you looking at things out of that 2 game set to where you think, okay, this is what the team needs to improve upon?
A little bit of both. I think, as many games as we play, at some point you're going to lose two in a row. Hopefully, it ends like that, and you don't let it linger and stick around. But yeah, I think like the positives we can take from it is we did some things better than we did in the 5 game winning streak. I think we improved on parts of our games, but the only positive you can take from it is the opportunity to learn and move forward. And if we don't do that, then it's just it's a waste, and then it turns into a negative completely. So I think it's just like we can learn some stuff. We can learn to play from behind, because in those games it was really the first time we you know got behind in games, and we're forced to play from behind. But yeah, I think if we can improve on some stuff and kind of get back to um, our good habits and playing with that swagger, then I think we can learn from it and move on.
The term that always comes up is chasing a game when you get behind on the road. And I know that when you're at home, you can get a little bit more wind in your sails from your own fans and just more comfort and familiarity with everything. But, that first game, they score a goal 15 seconds in, which is, that's a fast goal to give up. Was it hard to not have everybody just let the shoulders slump, considering you guys had been riding a 5 game win streak going into that?
Yeah, I mean that's something that definitely, like you said, takes the wind out of your sails. But I mean, it's hockey, man. Like things can happen like that. It's obviously pretty fluky if something happens that quickly. It's just um, a puck bounces or sticks to the ice, or something like that, and they take advantage. And um, yeah, I mean, I think sometimes, like we've talked about, we were scoring. I mean, we were converting on a crazy percentage of our scoring chances. Our
Mm.
goaltending was out of this world good, and I think the thing is we still have the same players on the ice. We still have the same goalies that are able to do that and able to steal games when we need them to. But um, yeah, I just think things are going to happen like that, and it's how you respond. And I think there's some young guys that haven't really experienced you know a lot of adversity in pro so far. Because when you start off, your first game you win 5-0, you're like, oh wow, this is easy. This is what it's going to be like. And sometimes you kind of need a slap in the face to really learn. And yeah, I think that's what we got these last two.
What has been the message from the coaching staff heading into this weekend set?
I just think get back to the way we were playing. Get back to kind of just playing with that swagger, because at the end of the day, um, I think we do have a really good team in that locker room, and we have guys that if someone goes down, we have some really really quality players that can step up and either fill a role in the lineup, or really just fill a different role in a better line, or play more minutes, or get on the penalty kill, get on the power play. And yeah, I mean it's nice to add a guy like Gushkin and get Cardwell back, because those guys play with a lot of pace. They've got really high end talent, and it's not really something you see that often in this league, because a lot of times those guys are playing in the NHL. So um, yeah, it's exciting. I like our lineup this weekend, and just get back to it.
How do you feel about your game? Obviously, it's still relatively early in the season and you're still learning a lot of new teammates, but how do you feel at this point?
I feel good. I've had the opportunity to play with a couple of different guys, throughout the course of the game. It's been really, actually, it's been fun and nice playing with Jake Furlong. All the games thus far. He's younger guy, but really like a really really solid player. And he he works really hard. He's got like super high compete. He wants to play against the other team's top line, and sometimes when they're out there and he's not, he's like, nah, get me out there. And I love to see that out of a young guy. He's got the skill. He can make plays. He can create offense, but really at the end of the day, he wants to play defense, and that's not something you see a whole lot out of young guys, especially someone who put up a good amount of points in junior last year. So it's been fun. There's Shakir's back now after being hurt for a little bit, so it's gonna be good to have him in the lineup. And yeah, I think this year so far, I've been able to play a lot of minutes and really just do the best I can on the PK and play against teams' top lines. And I feel like that's my role in this league. And yeah, it's been good to be able to get a groove and play loose and just play hard.
Tell me about your decision to come to San Jose. Obviously, you were on some very good Coachella Valley teams for the last couple of years, making deep runs. Obviously, staying in California is always a good thing, and the Bay Area is a pretty nice place to play. But what led to the factors of deciding, like, yeah, San Jose is the next step for my career?
I just think a new opportunity. Yeah, for me, I've in Coachella Valley playing there was the first time I was able to play in the same place for 2 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
In my pro career. It's been just 1 year here, 1 year there, and it was cool. I mean, it was an unbelievable experience to have a new team in a new city and kind of like give that valley a something to come together and cheer for. It was really cool. But for here, it's just a new experience and a new opportunity. I feel like this organization is definitely going in the right direction. They're building a new culture. They've got a lot of turnover in staff and in players, and I just think it's for me. I'm able to kind of take a bit of a leadership role on the back end, and yeah, I try to prove myself, A, in this league, but B, that I can play at the next level. And I was lucky to be able to get a couple preseason games in and feel more comfortable as those went on. And yeah, I think to try to prove to myself that I'm still getting better, I'm still improving, and I'll be ready hopefully when called upon. And yeah, so it was different, playing against this team for the last 2 years, but yeah, it's been fun.
I always wonder, especially as a blue liner, do you ever get somewhere to a new team and have to go to a guy who's been there and say, hey, sorry for blowing you up along the boards last year or something to that effect? Have you ever had to go through that?
Not exactly. It's yeah. I mean, I think the scuffles we've gotten in, and I think like specifically with a couple guys that just in the last couple of years, it's just I think something that's part of the game. And you meet guys that you either got in a fight with or played hard against, and I think it's just kind of a mutual respect type of thing. So I've never actually talked directly to someone about something like that, but I feel like hopefully you just don't need to just move on, and you're on the same team now, so going in the same direction.
Now, you're a St. Cloud guy, so I'm curious, do you ever go more like a game without talking to somebody else from St. Cloud? Just because I feel like that network is everywhere. I was actually just texting Brett Hedican before we started this interview because he works for the Gulls now since leaving the Sharks, and as part of the Ducks organization and player development. And I was like, all right, there's another St. Cloud connection. I just feel like that you don't go far without meeting somebody else from that program or in the hockey community.
No, not really. It's cool because there's like a lot of guys older than me, a lot of guys younger than me that are playing pro hockey still. And I mean, I see a ton of them this summer. This weekend I'll be playing against Jack Ashawn, who's a good friend of mine on the Eagles. So, or at least I'm like 90% sure he's there, unless something weird happens. But yeah, I mean, it seems like it's almost every other game or every few games. It's like, oh yeah, like there's you go chat with someone that has either played there or like you played with. but that's kind of, part of hockey. I think it's just like it's so big, but it's almost like so small at the same time that I can't remember the last game I played that it wasn't like this guy from either through a friend, or you played on the same team as him, or you played in the summer with him, or yeah, he's from like one city over. So yeah, it's funny how that works.
It's cool. And then just a final one for you. I'm going to talk with Mr. Podorowski a little bit later. Anything I can give him a hard time about?
Um, Maybe just that my cooking's better than his. Um, uh, yeah, I don't know. There's maybe a lot of things that I couldn't say that now that we're being recorded, but um, yeah, maybe that we'd love to see him on the golf course every once in a while coming
All
up.
right. I'll pass it along. Well, Jimmy, I will let you go, man, but I appreciate your time, and I will see you tomorrow at Tech CU. All right.
All right, thanks.